Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Tammy Talk Show. Thank you for joining us this evening. I want to dedicate this show today to Breonna Taylor and her family. And all of my audience that are listening, we're just going to talk about some of the things that we have seen in the news. And we're going to talk about our concerning the direction that our nation is going in. And how over the years we have seen these things happen over and over again, but not at this situation. I'll say this situation was different, and the outcome was very shocking. But I want to send out my condolences to her family, my prayers for her family, and to let them know that there are people in this world, and from my side of where I am, that are praying for them and hoping that God give them strength to make it through this time, because it really is a trying time. I don't know how many of you all have children out there. Just put yourself in Breonna's mother's position and just think about how you would feel, and how you would think. When you first had your child, all you want to do is protect your children. When your children get older, you pray for them to come back home safely and all this. And you think when they're at home, they're safe once they come in. This young lady was home, felt like she was safe, and then was terrified during the night and lost her life. So I want to dedicate this show to them on today, and I hope you all just come on in, and we're going to share in the conversation. I have my co-host with me today, my husband, and we're going to just share our views. We're going to talk about how we feel and what we think about what's going on in our nation, and how we are praying that it okay, I did something funny just in that laugh at myself. How we are praying that things go differently as the years come, but it seems like it's been a repeat of everything every year. And the amazing thing that gets me, husband, is every time something like this happens, or if an officer is involved, it seems like everybody don't know what happened. Even if it's on video, they don't understand what happened, because it didn't go the way you've seen it, or it didn't go the way the people that are feminine saying is happening, that hearing what's going on, going a different way. But no one was like one-on-one to see what was going on, but they all have a conclusion that they have come to. And we want to talk about that tonight, because we pray that none of us get caught in those positions, and that we lose our lives, our children, in a tragic way like this, and nothing happens. Because I'm telling you all, okay, it's recording, and I'm going to be honest, because I'm an honest person. I'm going to be totally honest tonight. I'm going to look right into the camera. Y'all hear me good? Anything happened to my children, I'm a mama bear. Anything happened to my children, please pray for me when it's done. If it's done by the law enforcement, please pray for me very hard, because I do believe that y'all will see me on TV, and everyone will be saying, "Is that that's that lady from Tammy Talk? That's that pastor lady? That's that lady from Tammy Talk Show?" Yes, that will be me. That will be me. I'm being honest. I'm telling you, that will be me. Because, a lot of times we look for the law. We look for the law to do the right thing. But they're not going to do the right thing. And I'm going to tell y'all, I'm a pastor and everything, but I'm packing too. Yes. And y'all pray for me, because I want my children to come home. I want them to, even when they go to their own homes and all that, I want to know that they're in there. So You know, you all would see me on CNN, y'all would see me on ABC, y'all would see me on every news network, and my face probably would be plastered all over Facebook. And then I would be saying, I am guilty. You won't have to do a trial. I will be guilty. Because something needs to happen to let these people realize that if you love your child, I love my child too.
That's right.
And people saying, well, people keep saying Black Lives Matter. All lives matter. Well, if all lives matter, could you share this with me? I'm going to share this with you all. I'm getting into my questions after a while, but I'm going to share this with you all. Okay. They say all lives matter. Okay. They getting ready to bring on a judge that will go against abortion. So they feel like lives matter and that matter. But why doesn't my life matter when you're breaking into my house, coming in loaded and packing and shooting me? Or if I'm on the street, my life don't matter. But it matters if I'm carrying a child and I decide to abort that child and you say that's wrong. Uh-oh. Yes, I say that's wrong also, but I'm still saying it is wrong also to take that life of that person that have lived life, got people around them that love them.
That is not in
they have their own children that love them, and they have mothers and fathers that love them, but you take that life.
Correct.
A life is a life that is a life. I'm just saying. Am I right or wrong? I think I'm right there. So if you're going to spare a life for something that never entered this world, why you can't spare a life that is already in this world?
All right.
Okay. I said enough. Talk with me, husband. Then I get to my questions.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if you should let me have the mic just yet, or should you get to the questions? Because there are some things I want to say. However, they probably might put you off of Facebook for the things that I want to say.
They might put me off of what I just said.
They might.
But I'm just saying. My child life matters. And then if you can't get to my child while you have him in a position where you're getting ready to arrest them or whatever, look in their phone and they got in their phone, mama, mom, call me on the phone and say, mama, I need you to talk to your child. I need for you to calm your child down. I need for you to tell your child to put his hand behind his back. I need for you to tell your child to get into the police car. And mama will do that. So my baby will come home to me. Okay.
Well, I feel the same way as you do. I am on a different level with it that I won't get into. Those of you that know me already know that I'm experienced in the art of warfare. But I will say this. We've been talking about this thing. We've been coming up with so-called solutions.
Yeah.
And again, everybody's probably not going to like me for what I'm about to say. I hope y'all still love me. Those of you that want to go to heaven. I have always said from the beginning that the only thing that's going to change this game. Now let's have a conversation. Now, this is the gospel according to Anthony, okay? But I stand firm on this. Those of you that know me know that you're going to have to come with a lot of good information to convince me of anything different that I've already decided that's what I feel like it is. So I am going to put it this way. Until we, as a people, come together enough to love each other enough, and if you can't love me, be considerate enough of me, have enough respect for me to conduct business with me. Because until our money creates the power that we spend with it, none of this is going to change.
True.
Now, I'm not knocking, and then trust me, and because Nate Crawford will beat me up for this, but I'm glad he's in Jersey right now. I am completely not against voting. I'm all for voting. I know that our ancestors have marched and died for us to have the right to vote.
Yeah.
However, I'm going to put it this way just to make it politically correct. Along with voting, if we don't change how we do what we do with our money,
yeah,
the voting is not going to, I'm just going to be nice and say the voting is not going to be as effective. Okay? I'm not saying it doesn't change things, but at the end of the day, you really don't control once. Let's just say, for instance, let me just create a scenario and see, you gave me the mic and you shouldn't have done that. Let me create a scenario. Let's say we all go vote. All right. Just help me out here. And maybe I'm ignorant to some things. I'll accept that. But let's just say we all go and vote. And every vote that we vote for, every person we vote for, and every office that we're trying to shift, let's say we get all of that.
Yeah.
All right. There it is. Everything has happened the way we want it to happen. Okay. You still don't control those individuals.
True.
You still don't have the power to get them to do exactly what you want them to do.
Right.
You don't. They may be for us. And some of them may have put on a good show to convince us to be into office. And some of them may be sincere. How do we really know at the end of the day how sincere everybody is with their thoughts?
That's true. That's true.
Now, I got this, and the wife might say I'm stealing this. I got this from the Karate Kid. There's 3 parts to the heart of man. One everybody sees, one only his family sees, and one only God sees. We don't know the God see part of any of those politicians as great and as convincing that we think they are. But I will tell you this, if every Black person no longer went to Walmart ever again starting tonight, I guarantee you they will start shutting Walmarts down. I promise you that. I put my paycheck for the rest of my life. If we went somewhere else, and Lord forgive me, come hell or high water, and brought our food and our supplies and everything else, if we took our money somewhere besides Walmart, and not a single Black person ever walked in Walmart again, I promise you Walmart would start shutting down. It is a statistical fact that we are the biggest spenders of dollars in America.
Yeah.
That is where our power is. You can argue with me until I turn a different color, and we all know that's not going to happen. Until our buying power becomes what we spend it on, we are not going to get where we feel like we need to be. Y'all know this is not going to change. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not prejudiced. I don't have anything against other races. Okay, let me stop being nice. I don't have anything against white people. I have white people in my family.
Yes, we
Those
do.
of you that know that, no, I don't have a problem.
Right.
But the fact is, everybody that's white doesn't feel like the white friends and family that I have. So because of that, I can't fault them. And I also can't accept the fact that everybody's all right, because they're not.
They're not.
There would be no such thing as a Black Lives Matter if white officers were not killing Black people.
True.
How many news reels do we see on CNN that white officers have gunned down white criminals?
And
how many have we seen?
None. And I have seen on Facebook where there are some white people be parading a knife in front of them, run around the car, jump in the police car, and leave in the car, and nothing done. They just stand there like, oh, he got away with the car. And
so I really wish that I know some of my, and I'm going to say it like it is, some of my white friends that I deal with, we have conversations all the time. And they know me and I know them. And at the end of the day, that's not going to change. We both know each other. We may have differences of opinions and different political views and all of that, and that's fine. And I'm going to say something that's really going to sound bad again. To me, again, and I know people are going to hate me.
Say it.
Politics is not the big issue here. I promise you, it's the money. Even the rappers say cash rules everything around me.
Yes.
Let's keep it real. Prejudice is not going to ever change, y'all.
No,
It's not going to change. We as a people have to take a different look at what we're trying to do to progress in this country.
Yeah.
Stop. I don't want to say stop. See, I'm trying to be politically correct, y'all.
Come on with it.
Stop trying to change. You can't make me make this shirt black if I don't want it to be another color. If I want to change it to pink, or you want to change it to pink and I want it to stay black, you can dye it pink. In my mind, it's still black. Are y'all understanding what I'm saying? So nothing is going to change in the eyes of people that don't want to change in their minds.
That's true.
Voting is not going to change the prejudice in this world.
Right.
It may help us get a few extra policies and things done, but I promise you, if the dollar stops and shifts somewhere else, listen, I'm going to say this to my people. To me, like I said, to me, it has nothing to do with politics. And it really, at one point, doesn't have even a lot to do with prejudice. It has to do with the economy and the dollar. Let's think about it. And please do this, my people. Again, has nothing to do with black and white in this instance. Hear me when understand what I'm saying.
Come on. Mm-hmm.
I don't care if the black-owned business, now I'm going to go all these places tonight because enough is enough with us having all these conversations and building up the airways and the television ways.
Right.
How are we going to have conversations to fix racial prejudice? It's not going to change.
No, the conversation ain't
So
gonna
listen,
change.
I don't care if Joe Johnson, and that's just an example name, has a rib shack across town. And I don't care if his ribs are $10 more than the ribs at the Golden Corral or at Ruby Tuesdays or at wherever. Buy Joe's ribs,
all right,
my people.
Yes.
How in the world are we going to build business if we can't support the businesses that are starting? Common sense will tell you they can't put their prices at wholesale prices because they don't have the capital.
Right.
The only way we can change that is if we help them to change it. So what? They cost a little more. Stop going into places talking about, come on, brother, give me a discount. See, I know people ain't gonna like me today. Hook me up.
Hook me up.
You don't ask Red Lobster to hook you up.
Right.
You don't even ask. Now watch this. You don't even ask. Let me get my. Okay, there we go.
Come on.
You know how people do the little. Okay, you don't even ask Chick-fil-A, who's so wonderfully Christian and helpful, to give you no discount. So don't come into my place. Don't come into Stu's Chicken Shack and ask for an extra piece of chicken because me and you went to school together.
Right.
If anything, you should give me an extra tip because you're trying to support what I'm. See, y'all done got me fired up now.
Yes, that's true.
You got me fired up now. See, but this is what we do, and because the place don't look as good as somebody else's place, we're not gonna support them either.
Right.
And then when we get somebody else's dinner plate. Then we got to talk about, it kind of don't taste good as well. You don't go back to Red Lobster and tell them it kind of don't taste good.
And there are times when you get that food and it ain't good.
You will sit there, you will spend $50 on 3.5 crab leg pieces of crab leg on a cluster and a half at Red Lobster and act like you did something. And then because you want to be bougie and impress everybody, you don't get a waiter a $20 tip. But then you'll go across town to my man who just got a little corner. Yeah. And you putting $2 in his little tip jar on the counter. Yeah. No, why don't you tip him $20? It's not about the food. It's not about the service. Why? Because you've gone in establishments that were not black owned and have gotten horrible service. Yes. And what have you done? You've gone right back. So quit playing.
Yeah.
You go right back.
Yeah.
Enough is enough. When are we going to do what we need to do as a people to make something happen for us?
Yes.
We had the example. I'm not saying the protests don't work. I'm not saying, oh, that's not what I'm saying. But we had the example with Rosa Parks. Here's the key. In history and in school, we've learned, oh, Rosa Parks, she refused to give up her seat. And that started the whole movement. And we're glad that she didn't give up her seat. It wasn't about Rosa Parks giving up the seat.
That's right.
That part didn't matter. If Rosa Parks would have never had a bus issue, and the people there, our people, still decided to do a bus boycott, I promise you, they would have let us sit wherever we wanted. Nothing changed until that money, that little nickel, that little coin, that little dime,
people stopped riding
stopped getting put in that bus meter. And all of a sudden, the white community said, hey, you know, I think we should let them sit where they want on the bus. It didn't have anything to do with their color at that point. We got to get smarter, people.
Yes.
Wake up. That's the takeaway that we should have from the whole story of Rosa Parks. That's the takeaway.
Yes.
John Lewis and Martin Luther King and all those many others that marched, they marched to push that takeaway. We got to go back to that. We got to go back to saying, hey, okay, you don't want to do this? I tell you what, let's see what happens when all that money that I spend on rock jeans and True Religion and all and Nike and all that. Let's see what happens when I stop buying that.
Right.
Let's see what happens when I go back and find somebody like FUBU. Y'all, those of you might remember FUBU back in the day.
Oh, they don't know FUBU.
You know, which was black owned.
Yes.
We bought that for a minute, and then all of a sudden we got off of it because, well, Tommy was a little better, but then the whole incident came out with Tommy about what he was prejudiced. Again, just I wish we would understand. Yes, it does, but hear me when I'm talking. Yes, it does, but no, it doesn't have anything to do with black and white. That is not going to change, my people.
It's not.
It's about what we are going to do.
Yes.
There were some people here in Georgia, they just brought up a whole town.
Yes,
the town was for sale. They all got together, black people as a race, and bought the town. I told my wife, we're going to find out how far away it is. And I don't care if we got to drive an hour.
Yes.
We're going to eat food there. We're going to buy groceries there. Until we start doing that. But guess what? We got to start loving each other.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, I know this was supposed to be about Breonna Taylor. It is. She sparked this conversation by the tragedy that happened to her, and we are praying for her family.
Oh, yeah.
And we're praying for their strength, but she sparked the conversation. The problem is we got to start having the right conversations.
That's right,
the same conversations about the same thing that gets nothing done. Einstein said that was insanity, and he wasn't no black man, but it was the truth.
Like I was telling you the other day, too. I'm just sick of the conversation keep going. We keep chasing it, just going in a circle, going in a circle.
Come on.
And nothing is happening. They keep telling us on TV. We need to have a conversation. We need to talk about black people, and we need to ask the white people to get with the black people so we can sit around and talk about what the problem is and how the problem is. And like I was telling the husband, the thing that aggravates me, you can talk about it, but you act like you don't see it. And nothing. Oh, you see nothing. Don't aggravate me.
Everybody sees everything.
Nothing don't aggravate me more than somebody know what's going on, and you act like you don't know what's going on.
Act like you know.
Act like you know because they know what they're doing. They know what's going on.
Exactly.
Some of them will sit and look like they're in shock. Well, I didn't know that. Because you never experienced that. That's why you don't know that. But once you experience that, you know what's going on.
Yeah. See,
and they know what's going on. I'm fired up too because I don't get burned up like this too much.
Listen, we cannot expect anyone who is not African American to understand what we go through.
No, we can't.
We can appreciate their empathy, but we cannot sit for hours trying to explain to them how we feel. Forget it. I said it at a Tammy Talk show some months ago. We need to learn how to be a segregated people that lives in an integrated world.
Yes, we do. They've been wanting us to segregate.
I wish they would have.
So we need to.
Yeah. We integrated, and again, I'm not knocking. Please understand where I'm coming from, my people. I'm not knocking what the ancestors and our forefathers fought for integration. I'm not knocking that, so that we could get the same education. Okay, I'm not knocking that. So I say this respectfully.
Mm-hmm.
All of you that have bachelors, masters, and doctorates, you've gotten that education.
Yes.
Are you still getting the same pay and the same privileges that whites are getting because you've got that education now, 400 years later? Yeah, let that sink in. Let that sink in. But that dollar don't got no color.
Mm-hmm.
It don't have a color. The drugs that come into America are not being shipped in by Black-owned airlines and Black-owned pilots. Somebody help me here today.
Black-owned ships either.
How much of the in Black-owned ships and shipyards? How many Black-owned corporations are flying drugs in from other countries? People, we gotta act like. Shout out to Kendall Effort, one of my old supervisor buddies. She used to always say, when stuff went wrong, act like you know. And she wouldn't even talk with you no more, because you already know what it is. I'm not having a conversation with you no more. Act like you know.
That's right.
But guess what? We're the ones selling it, and we're the ones dying from it. And they're sitting back and laughing at us. Those that are prejudiced. Again, let me be clear, because it's a little further.
Mm-hmm.
Those of you that know me and my white friends and other colors, you know that's not who I am. But it doesn't change the fact that this world is like this at some level.
Right.
And I'm not saying there aren't prejudiced Black people. There are. Again, they need to get right and jump on the same bandwagon that we're on.
Yeah.
I'm going to go back to it again. Support your Black businesses. The money exchange has to go a different way. That's the only thing that means something to people. The Bible says the love of money is the root to all evil. Key word, the love of money, translated the greed of money. You will kill people over money. Now, we've got to learn to take money and love it in a positive way. We've got to learn how to use it for our benefit.
Yes.
Here's something else I want to say to you all. There are some privileges in this world we will just never achieve, okay? Understand that. So, and I'm saying this publicly, but Black money has to be secret money. I know I'm saying a lot of stuff that's going to get me in trouble, but you know, this has been in me for years. I've been seeing this 20 years out and having these conversations at the kitchen table. Because I've been a Black business owner, my family has been Black business owners, and I have seen people treat us to the left for absolutely no reason other than, well, who do they think they are? I'm trying to get you to where I am. And here's another thing. I'm sorry, this is supposed to be about Breonna Taylor. Breonna, thank you for starting this conversation. You got some questions? I'm gonna calm down, y'all, because see, I can go all night about this thing. I'm gonna calm down, and I'm gonna digress for a minute, and
we want you all to chime in and ask questions, and we're here to read them and we're here to discuss them on tonight, because right about now, I know everybody in America that is of color, those of us that are being treated the wrong way and everything, we have seen it and we admit that we see what we see. We don't act like we don't see what's going on. We're fed up with it.
Right.
And we're ready for change. And the change is going to have to start with us. It's going to have to start with, like you said, with us, with our money, how we put our own money back into the Black-owned businesses. There's a business here in Georgia that I'm going to say it this way, because this is another thing that us Black people do. There's a business here in Georgia that I love to go to. It's a Caribbean place.
Yes.
I love this restaurant.
Shout out.
Every time I go to, it's J&F. Every time I go there.
JNR. Which one is it?
J&F.
Is it JNR?
Mm-hmm. Every time I go there, I just love the food. I eat there, and I'll share it with some friends about how good it is. How about the friends start suggesting to me other places? I'm like, I'm going to this one that I know is Black owned.
Right.
And you're going to suggest some more to me. Other places, I will go to them, but I'm supporting this Black guy right here. And he is Caribbean and he's cooking food and he have in the Black folks area.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, I'm going to support them right there. But there's a lot of people who try to persuade you not to go to the Black owned business,
Right.
to go somewhere else and support. So my support is loyal to the people that are loyal to who we are.
That's right.
And we are loyal to who we are. So this thing what happened with Brianna, it broke my heart because I began to think about when I was her age. I was her age and I had my 2 kids though, but I was looking forward to more things in life.
Yes.
And just imagine this young lady was looking forward to more things in life and had her life cut short. And then, like you said, we got people marching around America, and that's great. We're marching. They're out there trying to get change, but we've been marching like forever, and change haven't come to the Black folks generation. It hadn't come.
Right.
So the only way we're gonna have to do this, we got to take our money from them. That's the power. Money is power.
Right.
People say knowledge is power. Well, get educated on this. Money is power. So we start investing in our own people,
Right.
because these, I don't care how you look at it, there are officers out there, like they said, not all police officers
Right.
are bad. That's true. Not all of them are bad. Guess
That's right.
what? Not all Black people are bad either. But they throw us all in that one basket.
That's right.
Like we are.
That's right.
When they see you in a nice car, they'll pull you over. I have been pulled over because the car I was driving in. My kids have been pulled over because of
Right, right.
the car that they've been driving in. And then they pull them over for nothing. Then after they pull you over, they say, well, I had one to pull me over one time. Honey asked me, where did you get this car from? I said, from a car lot. That's exactly what I said. I said, from a car lot. And then I had to catch myself. I said, okay, catch yourself, because they're going to get an attitude.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
now it's against the law to get an attitude
Right.
with
Right.
the law enforcement. I haven't read it because my son was taking that up in school and I started reading that stuff. I
Right.
did not know if you talk back to one, you can be arrested. I did not know that if you don't say yes, sir, and yes, ma'am, you can be arrested. But in these times, you can. So you better learn how to be a Southern girl or a Southern young man and say, yes, sir, yes, ma'am. Because if you say, yeah, no, you're going to get in trouble. So we got to focus on our well-being.
Right.
And the well-being of our children to come. So like you were saying, husband, that we need to target our money in the right direction that will make change in
Right.
America.
We
Because
gotta do it.
America is headed into a destruction. If we don't go out and vote, we don't go out there and make change. I know that you were saying how the government don't
Right.
do nothing,
Right.
but there's some things
It
we
is. It
got to
does
do.
make a difference.
We got to
I didn't
change.
say don't vote.
We got to change this direction that it is going in. Because if this man get 4 more years,
Yeah.
it may sound like a joke to you all. He get 4 more years. We might be going to on the corner of New York, on the Hudson River,
Mhm.
waiting to get back on the mothership.
And let me say this too.
I'm just saying.
He President Trump, that's right, I said it. President Trump is creating.
Ooh, this person said his son was beaten to death.
What is that?
My son was beaten to death by cops. No justice
Wow.
for what? For cops.
Hold
done
on, we need to chime
a
into this.
23-year-old just because.
Diane, we just saw this from Diane. Diane,
Whoa.
how you doing? And we're so sorry to see this, but I just want to bring this out tonight for those of you that
Wow.
haven't seen this. It says, my son was beat to death by cops. So justice for what 4 cops done to a 23-year-old. Just because. No justice for what 4 cops done to a 23-year-old just because. And listen, let me and I'm so sorry for that.
I'm so
And
sorry.
you know what?
Diane?
I want to talk to my people tonight. I don't claim to be the wisest man on earth. But what I want to say is we've really got to go back to being a village with each other. And I want to also say, we know that there is police corruption going on. We also know that there are good cops. We're not bashing the cops that are good, but it's unfortunate that the cops that are bad, anything that's bad is going to get put on social media.
Yes.
Doesn't matter what it is. It's unfortunate that the cops that are bad are creating a narrative for those few cops that may be good, or should I say for the many. I'm going to still believe that there are many police officers that are good, that are white police officers, or that are not African-American police officers, you know. And I'm going to give a personal shout out just for that, for just because, you know, I'm all the way real with mine. I got a buddy. We grew up together in school. His name is, and I know he won't mind. His name is Bob Nicolosi. Bob is a retired police officer, and me and Bob are cool. We've always been cool. We played football together. We were in school together. And when I went to one of the class reunions, man, he kept hugging me. He was so glad to see me. We hadn't seen each other in a while. When I'm on, and if I'm playing music or I'm singing or something, he's always chiming in. Now, Bob is a Trump supporter, but listen, this is what makes me love Bob, because before there was a Trump, Bob and Anthony were friends. We don't allow what is going on with the world. Yeah, we may have different views about everything, but at the end of the day, if I need $20, I believe Bob's gonna give me $20. If I need $20, I believe Bob is gonna. I mean, if he needs it, he can get it from me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
There are just people that we know are good people, and unfortunately, they're caught up in some of these things.
Yeah.
So it makes it bad for those good guys.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm just gonna be honest. And again, there is no excuse for what happened to Diane's son. No excuse.
No.
It makes you want to do bad things. I'm just keeping it real.
Right.
It makes you want to do bad things. I'm gonna get this real quick. But I do want to say, I feel bad because this creates this narrative, and Trump is creating this even more than it's already been. Let's act like we know. It's always been there. But now, because of social media and because of Trump creating this, it's okay to be this, he's sparking up this boldness in other races that they otherwise kept under wraps, and probably should have, because it's dividing the country. It would hurt my heart to see my friend Bob, just as bad as it's hurting my heart for Breonna Taylor and all of our people.
Yes.
It would hurt my heart for him to get hurt.
Yeah.
Because I know him. You know, I know him. So again, I don't wish any hurt on anybody, and Bob knows this. You know, this is not anything that Bob doesn't know. It doesn't change the fact that our Black people are being gunned down.
Right.
It doesn't change it. So we've got to be smart, my people. We've got to be smart in every area. We've got to be able to compartmentalize the difference. We've got to be able to know the difference. We've got to be alert enough to understand, and we've got to come back together as that village so that we can look out for one another. I'm not gonna lie to you. There's some places I walk down the street and I'm afraid to see somebody my color come by. I feel like, what are they gonna do to me? I mean, we got to do different as a people.
Yes.
We just have to. We have to be the change. We already know they're not going to change. They're not going to do it for us. We got to initiate the change. We got to know who the bad people are. We got to not tolerate the corrupt people. In this case with Diane and Breonna and everyone else, we've got to vote, march, do what we got to do to change that narrative. And we've got to spark a movement that no matter what, we stick together.
Yeah.
And then maybe not only, and I'm not saying that they're not, and I'm gonna say this and be quiet, I know, because I'm running now. I can't help it. See, that's why she should not put me on her show. See, because I try to be in the cut and be in the background, but
he won't let me have no conversation.
No, see, because it needs to be said.
Yes.
The things need to be said. You know, I admire the other colors that are standing with us.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what I want those other colors to do, I want those other colors, and I'm talking to all the other colors now. Not only do you march with us, I want you to start going up in our Caribbean place and patronizing them and start patronizing all of our businesses. And when you're in position, high position, like I've seen happen before, and you have the authority to get me that $100,000 a year job because you've got the power, and you see my resume come across the table, then if you're not prejudiced and you believe Black Lives Matter, then treat me like you would treat someone else of the same color, and you just slide them into position, slide me into position. See, we got to start really acting like we know.
Yes, yes.
If you're for us, then let's just be people.
Yes.
Let's not have a color.
Yes.
Let's just be people.
Yeah.
And yes, and thank you, Adeline. Please, people of color, stop hurting each other.
Stop hurting each other. I gotta chime in now.
Okay.
Because it's black on
Diane,
black crime.
we love you. We're praying for you.
That need to stop. Our Black young men need to stop killing the other Black young men. You gotta stop doing it. You gotta stop being so angry, because what I heard somebody say the other day, the Black young men are not really killing that young man because they hate them or mad at them. They are shooting that young person or killing that person because they hate who they are.
Right.
And it's the image of them that they're looking at, and then they're going to kill that person. So we just need to stop doing that. Stop this black on black crime, because that's an excuse that they use too. Well, they're killing each other. So we need to stop that. We need to support one another. We need to love one another. Stop hurting each other. I'm going to say it again.
Right.
Stop hurting each other. And Diane, the thing that hurts me the most about how these policemen get these young men, and when they stop them, they beat them, and they beat them to death and kill them, and then it be justified by why they do it. But the bad part about this is, why is it our people are guilty until proven innocent?
Yes. Yes.
Instead of innocent until proven guilty. But nowadays, they won't even give you a chance to see if you're guilty of the crime that they say you're trying to do. And you're just trying to, some people just be driving home and get pulled over and get beat up. And some people just be doing a daily tour out, and somebody stop them and say, you look like somebody that we're looking for. And then they say, I'm not that person. They beat them and kill them. Why are you beating and killing them when you don't even give them a chance to explain what's going on? Then you say, well, they're replying to me as they are angry and they're yelling back at us and all this. Hey, didn't your mama used to yell at you? And when she would scream and yell at you and say, sit down, do this, did you try to fight back your mama, beat your mama? But now that you got licensed, I feel like they are licensed to kill now. They are licensed to take out our young people. It's not licensed to keep the law under control.
That's right.
You are licensed to kill people because you got the justice system on your side. Well, who's going to defend those that don't have justice on their side? Us Black people. And then they say, you are always crying and want to pull the racial card when something happened. Because we can pull that card, because for so long, it is a racial thing.
Right, right.
We can't overlook that. And I won't overlook that. And I thank God today that we're talking about this, because a lot of people are afraid to talk about this stuff. I'm not afraid to talk about nothing, because at the end of the day, I got God on my side. You got God on your side. And we need to realize that we have God on our side, so we're going to speak the truth. Because if we speaking a lie, he hear it anyway. Like I was writing down, I wrote something down here on my paper that stated that these people, these cops and different people are doing the things that they're doing, thinking that nobody see them.
Right.
Maybe I don't see why you're doing it, but God sees you and what you're doing. And in the end, you're going to pay for what you did, because you're going to have a judge and jury. And that's one being right there. He's going to really judge you the right way. And what I thought about too, how when David did what he did in the Bible, I'm bringing the Bible in now. And how God told him that the sword would never leave his house. Y'all better be careful, because that sword ain't gonna never leave your house. It's gonna come back on you, what you're doing to God's people, because we are God's people, whether you realize it or not, whether you think it or not, or you want to overlook us and think we're not. But we are God's people too, just like you are, and God's gonna avenge us of this stuff.
Right.
So, I know I said we're gonna talk about the Breonna case. I want to know, how do some of you all feel with the outcome of that verdict? How do you feel about it? What do you think about that?
Chime in and let us know.
Come on, chime in and let us know. Because I know when I heard the verdict, my heart just dropped.
Yeah.
And honestly, I began to sit down and just cry. And I look at my little granddaughter. I said, God, I got a grandchild that is growing up in this world. That's getting worse, God.
A biracial grandchild.
Yes, biracial
grandchild.
And I tell you this, I don't only love the half of her that's black.
Right.
And the other half of her I don't love. I love every part of who she is. So I don't see how people can live in this world and judge you by the color of your skin and say they not judging you by the color of your skin, because they are. They are judging us by the color of our skin when they pull us over, when they take our children out of them cars, slam them to the ground, try to break everything in their body, talking about get down. Okay, honey, I know I'm going overboard, me and my husband, what we're talking. How can you tell me to get out of my car? Then you grabbing me by my arm, slinging me on the ground, you telling me to put my hand behind my back. Which one do I do first? And you saying them all at one time. Get out the car, put your hand behind your back, spread your legs. How am I supposed to do all of that? You need to just give us some instructions and we will follow. And you need to tell us how to do it, but they're not doing it because they want to confuse us. So they can't slam
and they say they fear for their life.
And they fear for their lives. Yeah. They fear for their lives, and they're telling us to do all of this. And you got a gun on your side, but you fear for your life and I have no gun? Come on, get real. Get real.
And so and you know what? And so I see a couple of questions.
Okay.
And I'm trying to catch, please take it in love if I don't catch all of your comments. I'm seeing a lot of great comments. I see one from Rhonda Pierce, who's saying there is only one race, the human race. Absolutely.
Amen.
Rhonda.
Absolutely.
And I just can't help but go back to, and I see what Diane. Yeah, I see you, Sharon. I'm gonna address that.
Yes, we're
shortly.
gonna address your question.
I can't help but to go back to Diane because the thing just hit me. I feel like you're a special guest on with us tonight, Diane.
Yes.
And I'm gonna say this: it's not my show; it's my wife's show. But I venture to say I'm not gonna say the wrong thing tonight by saying reach out to her, and if you are up to it, I'm pretty sure she'd love to have you on as a guest.
Yes.
To tell your story. About what happened with your son.
Yes.
So if you feel up to it, you
right.
reach out to her instant.
Go into the Tammy Talk Show and
message her. And,
yes.
And we'll take it from there.
Yes.
And I do want to see. Let's see, what else do I see? Okay, Sharon. Let's address Sharon. Mama Crawford says she know who she is and she know who she is.
Right.
That's right, Mama. Wait a minute, I lost Sharon's comment.
Hers right here.
Okay.
How do you suggest?
Her question. Okay. How do you suggest we keep the peaceful marches and other acts of movement staying positive and not die off after a few moments of protest? That is an excellent question. Excellent.
Yes, that's a good question because after things start dying down, then there's no more marches. There's nothing going on. How you keep it peaceful? The way I'm thinking, how you keep it peaceful, it might sound funny or it might sound strange. You keep it peaceful by watching who you marching with.
Yes. Because
a lot of those people are out there marching to start stuff and make it look like it's not peaceful. So those that are standing beside you, they might be getting ready to start something up. and make things happen and go into a different direction. I know there are people that may be planted there
Right.
to make those
Right.
peaceful marches not be peaceful. So watch who you marching with. Make the people around you stay alert on who's marching with you. And then you can't even tell the cops that the bad people are walking with you because they'll turn on you.
Right.
But you got to watch who you're marching with. If you're marching with somebody that you saw start some trouble, you know, let the people around you, y'all be aware and y'all stop the trouble that's going on around you so we can keep these things peaceful. And they need to be hammered in their head, peaceful marches.
Right. Right.
Peaceful marches, because somebody up top, Donald Trump, are taking those marches as for being not peaceful to use it as a weapon against us.
Exactly. And I want to say on top of that, in along with the response to Sharon's question,
Mm-hmm.
peaceful protests again, and I know I know some of y'all don't like this. I'm not against protesting.
No.
But I am going to say this, and I cannot remember who it is, so that's not going to incriminate me. But I'm going to say what was said, because that was such a good question. I was trying not to go there, Sharon, but you done brought it out. So here we go.
Come on.
There was a white law enforcement officer that was caught on tape. And again, I cannot remember it, and I will try to find it to reference later. He actually said something in regard to peaceful protesting and Black people protesting. He said, all we have to do, and now my people hear me good. He said, all we have to do is just sit back and wait it out, because it'll die down and nothing's going to change.
Right. Oh, man.
That's what was said. Now, she asked, how do we keep it going? Okay. So for number one, to keep it going is just simply that. We cannot get tired. But what happens is, in my opinion, we get exhausted with it because, and I think someone else, I saw it up there that says, we don't see any results. Okay. And again, maybe I'm wrong, but I want to go right back to what I said earlier. The only results you're going to see is when their economy starts to falter. In that same conversation, this man made it clear about this. He was talking and he was saying some things, and I think they even had him on an interview, and he was basically laughing at us, saying they spend the most money in America, but they never have any. So I'm telling you, I know I feel like, I believe in my heart of hearts that is the answer. Let's take it back, Sharon, to the protests and things that were going on in the 60s with John Lewis, with Martin Luther King, with Rosa Parks. They were protesting. They never stopped. But on top of the protests, they were boycotting. We are not boycotting. We're walking the streets. Yes, let's be honest. It's costing them a little money. It does. It costs them a little money because they got to get more law enforcement and this and that and the other. But let's keep it real. Let's slow down and look at it for what it is. Who's getting paid the overtime to be out there for the protests? It ain't the majority of the police force and law enforcement who are African American. Hello.
All right.
So either way, they are continuing to win. For those of you that didn't know, the prison system is a Fortune 500 company. You can get stock in the prison system. Come on, y'all. We've got to be smarter. The cycle, they have it on lock. They already know from what they've damaged us with mentally when they brought us over as slaves. And she was referencing the young man and why they're so angry. So yes, Sharon, what I'm saying, and I don't want to get too far off track, but I tell you, all these great questions bring me up to all the stuff that's bottled up inside of me. we have to keep the protests going, but we have to add boycotts on top of it. We have to. You've seen, you all, I'm sure, have seen things on Facebook and YouTube before. Say, okay, on this day, we're all going to stop shopping at Walmart. Okay, that sounds good. But for whatever reason, and I promise you, I am praying about it and I'm seeking a solution. I got a few ideas, hopefully innovative ideas, and I'm hoping that they're coming from a divine place that can get our people to begin to act on the premise of boycotting and supporting our own. I really believe that that's the only way we're going to get them to hear us. So yes, the peaceful protest should continue. We've got to try to, and I know it's hard, because when this stuff happens, it makes us angry. It makes me want to get out there. Yeah. It makes me want to, but I know me. I'm all right until I'm not all right.
But
so
it's not effective.
No, it's not effective. But we've got to add, like I said, we've got to add a different strategy. Yeah. We've got to start making that money power change along with the protest. Yeah. We're out there. A lot of people are losing. They're losing.
That's true. One day boycott is not enough.
Right. Effective. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. One day. See, you got me messed up. I was. Thank you, Sharita.
It's not.
But it's so true. Let me just go back there. I lost my train of thought. I'm sorry. But that's okay. A one-day boycott is not effective. Do you know that the bus boycott lasted for hundreds of days? It wasn't just a few minutes. See, and they don't tell you that kind of stuff in history. And when they do, they brush over it.
Yeah.
So it lasted quite some time. People carpooled. They walked. They did everything. Even in the midst of resistance, they continued by whatever means. We are not getting on that bus. It has to be a long-term thing. So yes, the peaceful protest, we've got to, that's what it was. Thank you. We've got to go back to the protocols of Martin Luther King. I know we all want to have a protocol of Malcolm X, but we see the culture of our society today. Yeah. They're looking for any reason to do it. And listen, I'm going to say this and keep this real. Some of us don't do a single thing wrong and we still end up dying. So what I'm saying is, along with the peaceful protest, we've got to continue to, and I'm going to say educate. And sometimes that word educate, I hate to say it, people, but again, this is the gospel according to Anthony. When we talk to our children, when we talk to young people, young men, young women, ladies, talk to these young ladies, older men talk to these young men. When we talk to them, let's present a different word, because they've even put it in our mind that education is a taboo word. So when we say, let's educate ourselves, it doesn't register. Well, what does that mean? Let's get more specific. Let's say, listen, let me tell you something that'll help you. That's education. Yeah. Young man, come on over here. Let me show you something. Let me give you some knowledge. See, we love that word. Our people love that. Yo, you're going to drop some knowledge on me. Whatever it takes. But we got to get to a place where they understand that we have to change the culture of how we operate it. How we're operating. Let's be peaceful when we protest. Let's try to maintain as best we can the Martin Luther King, the John Lewis's, and all of the others. Let's try to create that posture. On top of that, let's come up with strategies. These people were gathering in the churches, probably, and this is just my assumption. I know at least weekly, but probably on a daily basis, on what the next strategy was to get things done. We don't have that anymore. We don't have a Martin Luther King. We don't have a Malcolm X standing up. Why? Because now our society will kill them. So a lot of stuff we have to do in secrecy, just like back then. Yeah. But we need to be doing it. We need to be having a dialogue. We need to be having a conversation. We need to be coming up with a plan and a strategy. Yes. I heard Killer Mike say that same thing. Yeah. We got to come up with that strategy, that plan. We got to talk about it.
Right.
You know, we got, yes,
We
Mama
do-
Crawford says
we
we got
do
to
need to
rebuild
rebuild
Black Wall Street.
Yes.
We have to do that.
Yes.
We have avenues. It's
Mhm.
called the internet.
Right.
They don't know what, well, they do know what color we are on the internet. Don't think they can't figure out anything now. But for the most part, you know, there's not enough people to sit there in front of computers all day long and see how many of us are exchanging money within each other
Right.
as a race
Yeah.
to try to cut that off. So we got so many more avenues. We don't even have to get out of the house to support
Right.
Black business. Come on, people. I'm
Right.
telling you, I'm telling you that is going to make a difference. It made a difference back in the 60s. It's going to make a difference today. So
Right.
peaceful protest, create the narrative of Martin Luther King, nonviolence as best you can. Don't be afraid to run away from violence, because when you stand in violence, we all know what's going to happen.
Right. What your mother used to say?
My mother used to tell me a good run is better than a bad stand any day. And, you know, it got to the point where I was always running. My city probably thought, well, Anthony, he don't know how to fight because he ain't going to never fight nobody. Yeah, because my mother said, good run better than a bad stand any day.
Yes.
So I didn't realize that I could knock somebody out till I got in the military and was by myself. And I said, oh, I got some pretty good hands.
All right.
I didn't know.
Right.
And the funny part about it, I just want to tell you this joke. I had 2 older brothers. They could have came and handled the business for everybody that was bothering me.
Right.
But I never, you know, just a little joke. I want to throw that in.
Yes.
But yeah, my mother say that all the time. A good run is better than a bad stand any day.
Right.
And what's happening is if we go back at these police officers, even sometimes when we don't, and we understand that, and we can't help that. And honestly, all we can do, I'm going to say, is pray about that.
Right.
We just got to pray that God keep us. But if we go back against them, they are going to get the best of us.
Right.
I cannot say to you what I've told my children and my family if I get in that situation. I can't say that online.
No, he's not going to say
that. But I will say, just pray for me.
Right, right.
Because you will see it on CNN.
Right.
That's all I'm going to say, because...
That's all you're going to say?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But yes, Sharon, I'm sorry. I think that's what we're going to need to do, and be consistent and be more strategized with the peaceful protest so that they can realize, okay, it's not going to stop.
Right.
I hope I gave you some kind of good answer with that.
Yes.
It's hard to stay focused because my mind is everywhere with this thing right now.
One thing is, we have learned nothing else from this year. We know that there is a gap in the judicial system. There you go, system. And we need to start telling people that they need to focus on education. You know, if we have young people that are going to school, going to college, we need to tell our children how to seek out trying to be a judge, seek out how to be a lawyer, because we need people in those places that will look out for us. We need to plant them in those areas where we can have somebody in there that's in our corner. You know, we don't have too many judges and too many people that is in those areas that will help work in that system for us. So we even got to start educating our children, our grandchildren, our friends and family, telling them, hey, you smart enough, come on, go to school to be a judge.
That's right.
Go to be a lawyer. Go, you know, put yourself in those areas where you can help our people. That is another way that we can do, and where we can plant people that will help us, not to go against the law, but to help us, in order for when the law come up against us, that we have somebody there to be on our side, and that will fight with us and fight for us, not fight against us. Because a lot of times you got people that are out there in this system that are bringing down our young people and bringing us down, and you get something on you, they will try to, I mean, even when they stop you, they pull up your record of what you did yesterday.
Right.
Or what you did 10 years ago, 30 years ago. Oh, and then if they kill you or hurt you or something, well, his record or her record, they was this and they was that. That's what happened to them. No, there's no excuse for what you got me in for right now, and the position you got me placed in right now. You know, you just got to have it right, because when the other people do stuff, they can go up in the school and shoot up everybody in there. And I used to say this years ago, when it come down to them, they have a mental problem.
Yeah.
But you mean to tell me that our people haven't been mentally, physically, emotionally scarred by the things that have been done to us?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Come on, people. Let's just get this story right, and let's build. I like what our Mom Crawford said. She said, "Let's rebuild Black Wall Street."
Exactly.
Just imagine if we did that. It's doable. We can put our monies together and make something happen, make change happen. Because I'm telling y'all, in November, some of y'all people talking about you ain't gonna vote because your vote ain't gonna count. Don't say nothing about what happened in 2021 when everything goes bad.
That's right.
You'll be down there praying and fasting, and you be doing fasted so that you'd almost die and no change come. You can make change. We need to get out there and do what we got to do. We got to pray for our leaders. That's what I'm saying. Pray for them, because things could get worse. And if we don't make change and we don't get out there and vote, I know people say sometimes the voting don't make a difference, but it will. Well, it'll make me feel good, like it's gonna make a difference.
That's right. That's right.
That's what I'm gonna say. It's gonna make me feel good that it will make a difference. So I want you all to know that we are praying for you all. We are praying for Brianna's family. We are praying for Diane that chimed in on today.
Yes.
We are praying for you and your family. I know you must be going through something very hard right now, and I pray that God strengthen you. I pray that God help you. And if you want to come on the Tammy Talk Show and share your story with me, just come on, and with the audience, you are welcome to come at any time. And I thank you for just letting us know your experience that you have gone through. There is a lot of mothers, there's a lot of fathers out there have experienced this stuff, and it's very hurtful. And I just want to be a catalyst that can help the people through what you're going through, and let you know that Tamara Stewart here at the Tammy Talk Show care about you. My husband care. And you know, you can see how passionate he is about this. He's so passionate about it. He wants to help the people. And I want to pray for Newburgh. Yes, I lived in Newburgh for 13 years. I was not born there. I was born in the South. I'm sure you could tell by the way I talk.
I love my city.
Yes, I'm a Southern girl from the heart. Yes, but my husband took me out of the South and carried me to the North. But the South didn't get out of me. I'm still Southern. But I lived there for 13 years. It was a beautiful place, loving people. Those are the people that are still supporting. They supported my talk show. They're supporting me in the morning when I'm preaching. So those are the people that really standing with me. Yeah, I think everybody else from everywhere else that you are supporting, but I lived there for 13 years, and those people are just like family to me. And anytime something tragic happened there, it affects me also. So we're going to be praying for that community, that God help those young people, that he bring them together, that he help that city, because it's a beautiful city, loving people, but things are happening and going in the wrong direction. So we're going to be praying that things change for them. What you want to say?
Newburgh, because it's a smaller city, it does have Newburgh, you all have the ability to become a village again. You really do. You really do.
Mm-hmm.
And I would love to see that. But I did want to bring a comment out from production, which is the family here. My son says, now he talks about, and brings out a good point. He says, if the bosses at the job get the company workers, the employees upset, they're going to go on strike.
Yeah.
So if all African Americans go on strike at these big factories, collectively, we'll see change. You better believe it.
Yes, you will. Whoa.
The police get paid from our taxes. And then if we boycott, who they get the taxes from? So these are good points. And yes, and I've thought about that. Imagine, isn't it funny how you go in a lot of places, the bosses usually don't look like us, but all the employees look like us? What happens if we all walk out? What happens if we all decide that, well, you know what, we're going to leave for about 3-4 days, even if you don't, even if you have a no strike policy on your job. So they're going to fire all of you because they only want to hire a bunch of us again. Because some of them feel like they feel like they're too big or above us to work that job.
All right.
But they'll have us all in the back. Every rest, isn't it funny? This is how you know this is a learned behavior. I know it's time to go. We passed an hour.
Yes,
we probably gonna have to do this again. But I just gotta throw this at y'all.
Somebody did say a second part.
Oh, somebody did say, yeah, okay, we might have to do a part 2. But I just gotta throw something at you so that we don't leave on such a bad note, but kind of an aha moment. Isn't it just amazing to you that we can't run anything, even though we know we built America? We already know that.
I'm gonna say it, honey.
But every restaurant you go in, the boss. I got a mic now. Evening. This is Anthony Stewart, and I'm on the Tammy Talk Show. Tonight we're going to talk about. No, I'm kidding. All right. So, see, I can be a newscaster too.
You got the voice.
We can do everything.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't it weird how every cook in most restaurants look like me and you, but they'll go and eat our food?
Don't say that.
They'll eat the food that we cook, but we're not good enough to sit at the same table with them and eat the same food that we just cooked. Or our mothers would feed their baby. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
That
That was a Don Lemon moment. Oh, okay. Okay.
Yes.
So we know that it's a learned behavior, y'all. And guess what?
Give us those good positions either, because
of course
we don't think we know how to manage people and
we don't know how to manage it. But we'll run it all night. We'll run it for you all night. We'll wash your dishes. We'll make sure it's all correct. And then when we get an attitude, they want to fire us because they know, and we got to stop doing this too. They know we're going to turn right around and someone else will jump in that job for almost below minimum wage.
Yeah.
No, come on, y'all.
Yeah.
Get the guy down the street. He may be a little rough, but get him to cut your grass and pay him the same money that you pay the landscaper, and let him use your lawnmower. See, we don't want to do stuff like that.
True.
Come on, y'all. We're going to do a part 2. We're going to talk about, see, I try to be in the cut here, but she going to make her give me some segments on the Tammy Talk Show, because we got to start changing the way we think about us.
That's true.
If you got a guy that can cut hair, let him cut your hair. He may not have the license, but we cut at the kitchen table anyway. Quit playing and pay him the same money that you pay somebody at the shop. Okay.
That's true.
I'm all right. I'm gonna relax.
Support.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Yes. Tips, the whole night. We love y'all. I'm trying. Yes. I'm trying to be quiet. I'm trying. I'm trying to be quiet.
Yes, but like you said earlier too, we need to stop asking for bargains and deals.
Yeah, we gotta love each other. That's a big one.
We
gotta love each other as a people.
Yes.
We gotta change the way we think, y'all. That was an ultimate faith motto. Change the way we think. We have to. And
I've heard T.D. Jakes preach this one several times.
Right.
I heard it on Facebook and I was looking at it. There's nothing more powerful than a changed mind.
Yes.
We need to change our mind and be powerful.
Yes.
Be powerful with it. Sticking together. We
got to.
Sisters and brothers sticking together.
We got to.
You don't have to be my blood to be my sister.
That's right.
But let's stick together.
That's right.
And we got to make things happen to change this narrative of what's going on in America.
Yes.
Because we see it, they see it. When they see it, they don't want to admit it, but it's there. And we know that it's there. So it's time for change. And we're going to make that change. So at this time, I know we're going to end the show tonight. I know you all may not be ready for us to end the show, but we get ready to end it on tonight. But there will be a part 2 if I can get the husband to come back on with me. It's hard for me to get him back on with me on the show, but I'm going to see if I can get him back on with me. We're going to share some more information with you. We're going to encourage our Black people even more. We're going to encourage one another to do what we have to do to make change in America. It's not only at the ballot boxes. We got to go other places to make changes. We got to go into the pockets to make big change. When you go into the pockets, that's where change will come.
It has to, yes, it has to be our new lifestyle. Okay. Hashtag that on Facebook.
That's right. The new lifestyle.
We need to create our new lifestyle.
Here it is at the Tammy Talk Show. We thank you for joining us.
You heard it first here. Okay. All right.
We appreciate you. And we hope you join us again on Thursday at 6:30, where we will be continuing the conversation here on the Tammy Talk Show.
This conversation?
Thank you. Yes.
Oh,
But I'm going to give it a later date. I got to look at my calendar.
give it a later date. Okay.
Yes.
Not this Thursday.
Thank you, Adeline, for coming in. Thank you, Sharon and Mama Crawford. Lovely Boxtel. Okay. Hey, lovely. Hey, lovely.
We got lovely, y'all?
Thank you for coming in.
Oh, Lord, because she don't want to miss nothing.
Crystal, always watching.
Hey,
I love
lovely.
you, Crystal. Thank you for
We love you guys, all of you.
Love you all. Y'all hang in there and keep praying because change is coming. God has heard our cry.
Apostle Justin, he's on.
Thank you.
My brother-in-law,
night.
yes, we see him.
Love you.
Love you guys.
Love you.
Change your mind.